Mike, what are you hearing about tonight's speech?
Yeah, so we're hearing a couple big themes that are going to be important to business, and this is reporting from my colleague Elena Treen. The president is going to talk a lot about foreign policy, talking about getting out of endless foreign wars. This is when he'll bring in his comments about Venezuela in this hemisphere. But now, perk up your ears if he's in business. The president is going to tie the border to healthcare and prescription drugs. He's going to say that a lot of illegal drugs pour across the border and then become a problem in America. So this is an effort by the president to make it relevant to Americans. He's going to talk about trade, but he's going to put it through the eyes of the American worker. So again, an effort to personalize it for people back home. And then the president is going to continue his push for infrastructure, something of great interest to the markets.
All right, Melanie, your thoughts? Is what you're hearing consonant with what Mike is saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, immigration is going to be a major theme of the night, but that's not the only one. In addition to foreign policy, we are expecting the president to speak out against abortion. That's something that the Republicans have really seized on, especially given the Virginia governor's recent comments last week. They also are going to make a push for prescription drug prices and lowering those prices. The White House has already unveiled a proposal last week. Wall Street reacted a little panicky initially to this proposal, but there's still a lot of details we don't know, so we could get some more clarity on that proposal. And of course, we also are going to hear a lot on foreign policy. The president is very sensitive right now to the reaction from Senate Republicans, who yesterday just adopted amendments expressing sort of disapproval against pulling troops out of Syria and Afghanistan. So he may make a big push for those. And finally, he's going to touch on trade. Obviously, the United States is in the midst of negotiations with China. They have that March 1st deadline coming up. And Trump is also going to use this platform to pressure Congress to approve his revamp of NAFTA. He may once again reiterate that he's willing to pull out if Congress does not approve his new rework of that trade deal.
Is there hope, Mike, for infrastructure at this point? Or what we saw in terms of the funding for the border wall and the fight over that, did that sort of preview the animosity that we'll see in Congress this year, making infrastructure an unlikely scenario?
Yeah, I would go with B on that, a little bit of leading the witness there, as you suspected. But here's part of the reason why. There's such a dissonance between the president's message of being the great unifier and how politics are going in Washington. So a Democrat said to me when the White House was leaking the idea that unity is going to be a big feature and a big theme of this speech, a top Democrat said to me, this is the perfect message, but the messenger is preposterous. This isn't the president's reputation or the president's experience with these Democrats. And so our experience with the president in these big speeches in the House chamber, he does stick to his prompter. You talk to people close to him, he's proud of the fact that he can pull off these big moments and stick to his script. But what this Democrat said to me is, what happens if by 10 a.m. tomorrow, the president has done something that's at odds with the spirit of that speech?